I don't know, not good enough against the IOSPEN, I feel. And they pick up the Bane afterwards, which gives them the perfect opportunity to counterpick with a Silencer, counterpick with a Clockwork, counterpick with a Rubik. Too many options on the table here before Gringos, I feel. It is making this too easy for him. I don't know, man. I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm not really sure how this is going to play out on that pick. The Bane, we'll see how it goes. It is decent at dealing with the IO-Sven. Fiend's Grip, just incredibly good at dealing with like these heroes that just pop BKB in fights and trying to run you down. And as long as Bane's able to stay hidden for the most part, you can get a good Fiend's Grip. But Gringos,
you don't get countered by like Global Silence or something like that anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have Global Silence, but you also just have Void Spirit, a hero that has been picked a lot as a result of the Bane, just going for that Aghanim Scepter pretty early, or even just a Yule Scepter just to interrupt the Bane as fast as possible. Multiple forms of disable can come from that hero. Grab the Shadow Demon.
So there is a save there, and they got a Brewmaster alongside it now. People mostly been playing this in the offlane. It's been exclusively Gunner playing it in the mid. They go
Correct.
for that they max out the Cinder Brew and they get an Spirit Vessel or an Urn of Shadows first. And the run down potential of the hero is just huge. You do that extra slow and dot on top of the Primal Split, especially early on. You get so many kills. It's so sick, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad this hero's come back into play. Other than the stupid fucking 6-second tossy-turny tornado in the air, dumbass.
That's what makes it good. That's like the best part of the Panda Split is the Cyclone.
Missed me with that shit, man.
Valkyrie is one of the better Brewmaster players we've seen so far in the tournament. He owned all the way through opens with it. It was like a comfort pick. They pretty much took in every opportunity, and he's been owning on it so far in the main tournament as well. So, not surprised we're seeing it picked up here.
Yeah, I know you told me about that on the final day. They ended up seeing a lot of success with the Brewmaster as well, which I ended up missing. And they grabbed TB here on. I feel like every game of TB we've watched, it's had an outstanding performance. The hero feels even harder to bring down to was before. You ended up doing the math. It was an extra 6 points of HP per level on average, with the strength change from 1.7 per level to 2, which is a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It hasn't been picked that often, which is nice. I like not seeing the exact same carries in every single game, Sven. Yeah, the Terrorblade, it went from pretty much being the best carry in the entire game patch, and now he's just like a solid carry, which I'm okay with. He's a fun hero to watch at times. They get rid of the Invoker, they get rid of the Storm Spirit, Kit Special. Indeed, they have. I don't think really any teams have let the Storm Spirit go through over to 4 Gringos yet. But
no.
Let's see what they decide to do with their last set of bans here. Get rid of the Puck. Okay. So we're seeing a 4 Wind Ranger. It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be Michael's Wind Ranger. It is something Michael is actually really good on, so this makes a little bit of sense. But as a first pick, 4 position Wind Ranger, it feels real weird. Or I guess, first phased. Let's Shrek the ban there from Infamous. Very good ban. They need some magic damage out of this mid lane hero.
Yeah, I guess they're a little bit worried about jump as well. I mean, Leshrac very good at clearing out illusions as well. So you deal with the Terrorblade. The fact that the Diabolic Eek does pure damage now as well makes him a much better counter to the Terrorblade pickup. Dude, Badger doesn't know that it's a cat shit. Rookie Badger. And they grabbed the Tiny last year. Now, we've seen this from a lot of South American teams. Alone had amazing performance in the Tiny yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that guy popped off. Such a quick Blink Digger pickup. I think he had it by like 9-10 minutes. And it just ended up getting kill after kill onto the Enchantress. Ruined Enchantress's game.
5 seconds.
It was pretty fun to watch. Ended up being quick games towards the end of the night, which, for the team's not that fun, but for us as casters, after doing like
6 other games, hours before it, yeah.
No, 8 hours before that game.
Oh god, you're right. It was 8 hours. Last pick, Kunkka for Alone. Dude, the days, all I'm gonna say is by the end of today, I will not know which game happened on which day, and that's gonna continue for the next 2 days. To get the last pick, Kunkka here for Alone, one of his best heroes. I mean, when he has the opportunity to have to grab this hero, he's pretty much gonna take it. So, I mean, both teams, I imagine, feel pretty confident with their draft. Like, a lot of comfort picks for both of them. Lumir's Terrorblade. We have Sacred on his Bloodseeker. Alone Kunkka. Michael playing Wind Ranger. I mean, these are all really, really comfortable heroes for the side of Infamous. But then you look at Gringos, and they've got the same, like Giants on a Shadow Demon. We got Pingu on IO, DNM, Sven, and Kit's Tiny. Valkyrie on his Brewmaster. This is sick, man. This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Lono is an outstanding performance on the Kunkka, and we tend to see more high-action games when Kunkka and Bloodseeker's involved. Last time we saw Alone playing the Kunkka, he ended up just going for kill after kill. So I hate these farming sprees, and that's a lot of time what you see with the Terrorblade and the Sven. But given that Sven is going to outfarm the TB, especially with an eye on his team, I think Infamous is going to play very aggressive with this lineup. Oh, yeah. And Alone tends to be a pretty aggressive player, so I'm excited for that one. Again, I don't like the Wind Ranger pickup first. I know you're going to be like, oh, neph, you're just like Slacks. You sound just like Slacks.
Neph, you sound a lot like Slacks here. I don't know.
That makes me unhappy. Right.
Oh, no, that man's going to TI, dude. I'd be honored to sound like Slacks at this point.
I'm going to TI.
Yeah, but you're paying to go to TI.
He's being paid to go to TI. Yeah, but he has to work.
That is true. He does have to work. That is a lot of work.
Who's the real winner, yeah?
Probably still Slacks, but it's hard to say.
Come on, man. Let me take a single W.
All right. Well, I'll pull out the notepad. We'll see if you can get a W this time today.
Okay. Got it. On that note, I'm gonna go with for Gringos as my preference for this game.
That's fair. That's actually a pretty solid pick. I'm leaning a little bit towards for Gringos myself here. I think the IO Sven's gonna do work again, and I think this Tiny is a fantastic pick here to round out the for Gringos draft. So I like it a lot. I'm going for Gringos as well. Right. Infamous, though, a really solid team, and yesterday we thought they had a disadvantage in one of the drafts and still managed to pull that game out.
Yeah. It could have been a bit of a morale issue towards the end of yesterday, though. Infinity ended up losing a couple of games. Alone soup pizza. That reminds me, what are we ordering for lunch?
Oh, I ordered some sushi is what I ordered. Well, not really sushi. I ordered stuff from a sushi restaurant. I hate sushi. I wish I liked
I'm probably
sushi.
gonna get pizza. Shout out to Summit for you know, giving us our lunches while we work.
What? Wait,
I'm making shit up. I'm trying to gaslight
I'm like,
Summit.
what?
Summit to buy us lunch.
I was like, wait a minute, you get your lunch? I am like
the...
scarfing food down in my 3-minute break between each game.
Yeah. That's when we message like somebody not involved, that kind of stuff, from someone being like, yeah, I didn't get the money for lunch today. You mind sending that over?
Start gaslighting.
Gaslighting your employer.
Yeah, that'll work really well.
I'm gonna get fired after this game.
You're about to get a message from Blaze and Parker. Hey, yeah. Neph, hate to break it to you, but yeah, gaslighting us on air, not really cool, dude.
David, I'm sorry.
What about the third David? You have to apologize to him too.
Yeah. Please don't tell David about this. All right, we got another pause coming out here. Kids need some time to reconnect to the game. We have time to talk about some of the other matchup this tournament, though. Again, DNM, I think he's won. Sven has had an outstanding performance, I think, on every single game this tournament, except for one, right?
Well, we saw yesterday what happens when you don't pair the Sven with an accelerant, right? Mm-hmm. Things like an IO or the Ogre Magi or something along those lines, and it just felt lackluster. Like, it still farmed pretty well, but it wasn't like leaps and bounds ahead of the enemy heroes, and it just kind of fell off into the late game. But, you know, they just don't typically make that mistake here on 4 Gringos. When they get this IO Sven, they typically play it well enough to just kind of catapult themselves above the enemy heroes and just take a real, like, convincing game around that 40-minute mark.
Yeah. Another part of that issue was you were able to get ridden out of the fights really easily against the Sven. He's got such a high cooldown on God's Strength with the Slark. Speaking of leaps and bounds, he's, like, leaping in and out of the fights, which made things a little bit annoying. People talk about how Slark is like the ultimate counter to Sven right now. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think he does win eventually in the late game, but I think it's the fact if you don't have lockdown for the Slark and you can't force him into the fight, at that point Sven wins. Slark wins the matchup. Otherwise, Sven wins it.
Yeah. think you're right. I don't think it's... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Dota's not so simple where it's like one carry is going to beat the other carry in the late game or in the early game, or one carry completely counters another one.
There's a lot of nuances in how the game develops to get to that stage, right? And there are certain heroes, right? Like the Phantom Lancer and Mr. Time Lord, who are just like, oh, I win late game, good luck. But, you know, they still have to get there. There are ways of dealing with them, otherwise you'd be seeing them in every game, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. DNM. He's not doing great for farm so far. He's only sitting at 5-1. The fact that they managed to pull this one over, a bit of an issue as well. IO not great at contesting the Wind Ranger attempts at pulling, just due to the fact he's got absolutely no armor, relatively low base damage, and you'll lose basically any trade if he just pops the Wind Run and continues to click you back, which is exactly what he's doing to DNM right now.
Ooh, he got the Centaur right click. Unfortunately, tuning in today, I was really hoping that the hotkeys for spectating would be fixed. Of course, they're not.
A single update last night.
Yeah, so bear with us. It's not easy right now, as a lot of the observer hotkeys and spectating functions were changed yesterday, and it ended up breaking a lot of the hotkeys used for camera movement, unfortunately.
First thing I did when I hopped on this morning was check the client for updates, and there were none.
Yay.
I was like, oh, I probably should have told you about that. I was like, yeah, so it's just gonna be the same thing again today. Sorry, bud.
That's all right. I'll get used to it.
They'll probably ship an update sometime this afternoon.
Or like the day before TI, who knows?
That would make me upset. Hopefully by the grand finals of this tournament, they'll ship an update.
I think they are working on other stuff. Top lane, Valkyrie. A little bit of trouble here, but able to get away thanks to the nice disruption there from Giant, and they actually go ahead and bait out the meta with this. Lemire just getting slapped by himself. You know, just stop hitting yourself, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing that makes Shadow Demon even better. Just get him terribly to wheel away at himself. He's only got 1 point in disruption right now. That's a little bit better. This hero got hit by a pretty heavy nerf, by the way. The Shadow Poison mana cost increased by 10 mana at level 1.
Yeah.
It was way too good before, though.
It was. It was way too strong. It was stupid strong.
Now, Lee's run out of mana when he's spamming out his skills. And speaking of running out of mana, Sven is actually out of mana in the bottom lane. His courier died with a Sobi mask and a couple of... Sorry, Sage's mask and a couple other things on it.
Wow, I haven't heard the term Sobi mask in a long time.
Don't bully me, please. That was a legitimate accidental slip of the tongue.
Neph really showing his boomer antics today. I didn't know you were 50.
I'm not even that old. I'm 26, man.
I know, I'm older than you are. It's fine. It's a good day, dude. It's a good day.
Oh god, Blaze is in the chat. Oh no, someone's gaslighting.
What happened?
No, Blaze is watching. Boss. And we missed that first blood.
I did not miss it. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. Really good setup there. He just got a little overconfident on the Tiny, right? A little overconfident. Well, Neph, it was nice knowing you, sir. I don't know what to tell you.
It was a real pleasure working with you.
It's been a great fly the last like 8 months. You know, I'll remember you as you were.
It's been a year now.
Has it been a year? What month are we in right now?
Holy
crap, we're in September. What? How did we get here? Are we sure it's not August?
You didn't get me an anniversary gift. Shadow Demon gets slept up over here, but unfortunately Lone already dropped his torrent onto the creeps. And actually, they're going to pay for this here.
Well, I don't know if they're actually going to. Alone, he doesn't have any more trees, but gets salved up. A couple auto attacks might be able to get it. Yeah, they will. I mean, he still managed to clear a quad stack on the hard camp with a boat, so I don't know if he's really that upset about it.
Yeah.
Like, he lost 47 gold for that death. which is incredibly surprising. I don't know how that's possible, but managed to kill a ton of creeps in the process.
Probably bought out a couple things. We can't actually click the heroes to see what they recently got right now. You have to like spam click them.
Sick update, by the way.
Yeah, he's got a bracer, phase boots, bottle. All right, he's back up now. I can click.
I mean, just look at the net worth. He's like 800 ahead of the Tiny. And this is what we expect out of Alone on the Kunkka. I mean, we've seen certain players like really pop off on the Kunkka, specifically yesterday, Dark Mago and Alone both doing really well. And it's one of the reasons we see a lot of the North American teams banning this hero against their South American mid laners, just because they're so comfortable and so good on this specific hero. And mid lane, Kit's in trouble once again. X into Torrent with the boat, followed Michael with the shackle. They brought in 3 heroes, but it's not going to end up working. Valkyrie just going to get put to sleep. Kit's going to toss him on over. You can't escape, brother. So they're going to be able to pick up that kill. The tree toss from downtown.
Yeah, Kits is one of the Tiny is one of the tankier heroes inside the game. He didn't end up going a point into grow at level 6, but he does have phase boot sitting on the tower for an extra 3 armor. He gets 4 strength per level, and he's got massive base strength. So 1300 HP. It's not so easy to die. In fact, it's gonna be easier to kill 2 heroes a lot of the time than it is Tiny. At least he doesn't have the status resistance anymore, though. That was very cool. But yeah, they punished pretty heavily for that dive. Next time they go at him, it can be surprising. On Kunkka, you think you have this massive amount of damage. You're able to bring down a lot of people with damage from boat, torrent, and like a single Tidebringer hit. But when it takes a little bit longer, you're not able to fall back on like tons of right-click damage. You got fairly low attack speed on the 0.
They've got a 2k gold lead here on the side of Infamous, and they're doing really well. Sacred on this offlane Bloodseeker. I mean, he's got a full level advantage here on the Sven. He's going for the Spirit Vessel, as Valkyrie is doing the exact same, just both of them trying to rush this item. But, I mean, Bloodseeker is just basically free farming here against the Sven.
Yeah.
Just finds him in the jungle with a haste rune? Yeah, he does indeed. This is one of the reasons this Terrorblade, we were talking about, they just need magic damage from this mid laner, and oh boy, is Tiny. What was I gonna say? Tiny. A lot of magic damage burst. So really good find there from Kits, and you actually might find Excel here as well. Avalanche toss, it Tumbler toys away. God, what a cool item. He's got to get some distance here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There is a disruption available from Giant, and that will go ahead and save him. The rest of the team, though, what a follow-up. The Torrent is there. Sacred rotates in as well, and Kits, and he's going to die for this one. I mean, no way. Oh, my gosh. If he had a faster attack speed, he gets that, but oh boy, is Tiny's backswing real slow. Quick 2 for 1 in the mid lane, but it did bring 5 heroes from Infamous over for this. And Alone says, oh, hey, how you doing? Another stack made for me?
You shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have. I'm going to win.
Oh, my gosh. And Michael snipes the others. Well, nice. That is now like 8 hard camps they have stolen from the side of 4 Gringos.
Try to come in on the win rate. She's only got 1 point in the win to run, but with the Bane behind her, they don't want to come in and be able to turn the fight around pretty quickly. Even with Kunkka, well, Kunkka's pretty close by, you'd be able to turn things around as well. But they're gonna have to clear up this ancient stack pretty quickly. Pingu might stack it one more time for the Sven, and they'll have to grab it. Given the fact they seem very keen on invade the jungle here on Infamous.
They just have this ward here this whole time. He did it again? All right, he does this without the Blink Dagger twice now, which is incredibly surprising. What I was gonna say though is you've got like this ward that's just been sitting in this radiant triangle, and you have to know that this is here at this point, but Pingu actually just misses it with the sentry again. But finally gonna clear up this hard camp stack. Try and get the Sven back online. For this. Yeah, they didn't need to. There they do. He gets the ward now. So you have to know that this is here at this point. Sven, or like the Kunkka invading twice to kill that stack. You gotta know something's up.
They get the D ward off, and unfortunately Bloodseeker finishes up his Spirit Vessel, and they're gonna push down the bottom lane. They're gonna look for kills after this one pretty quickly, I imagine. But right now, towers. Again, you want to be playing this a lot faster on Infamous. You don't want to spend to get the chance to farm and abuse the fact that you got an IO assisting him. When you have this kind of accelerant like we were talking about at the start of the game, DNM always pops off.
Yeah, and it's really just the Kunkka that's in front of him right now. And yeah, Terrorblade is decently farmed, but Lumiere hamstringed a little bit as a result of Kits finding those 2 kills in the jungle. And he's not really doing that well compared to what we've seen on other Tinies so far in this tournament. Like we've seen some 9-10 minute blink daggers come out. Kits ended up finishing the phase boots first before going back for the blink dagger, which is not something we've seen all that often.
Yeah, usually they get the blink dagger as quickly as possible. The fact that it's delayed for a couple of minutes means that a lot of heroes are going to be more tanky. You're not going to find those early kills as often. It's just pretty rare for the mid Tiny to go for the phase boots like this, in fact.
Yeah, I agree.
Before the blink dagger anyways.
He does have it now. He's gonna walk base, I'm guessing, here, and just get all of his
He might just wait for the power rune. He's gonna have the bounty rune spawn as well.
Yeah, if he gets the power rune top, he's actually feeling really good. And it's not. Unlucky. What can you do? Nice disruption save there from the Kunkka once again. I wonder if this disruption was, or if the shouting was preemptive, like assuming they were gonna go for a Kunkka in the mid lane, because it is such a good answer to this hero. Smoke up here. A little bit from both teams heading top lane here on Infamous. I mean, getting Sven IO would be an absolute big win here. Pingu has to be careful to not get initiated on. There they are. They're going to find him. Relocate. Channeling. No, he's not. He's just done. He's going to be able to find both. Really well set up there. The Fiend's Grip, again, one of the better answers to the Sven. Really well played by Infamous.
But there's the save immediately, every single time by Giant. And
ooh, Avatos, they decide to go in. Kits unable to burst down the Bane though, and now Michael, one who might be in trouble, going for that TP out, but he gets popped anyway. Cyclone onto the Bloodseeker alone on the low ground here, might be able to assist. There's going to be the Demonic Purge holding Bloodseeker in place, but Giant starting to fall a little bit low. Relocate coming back in and not bringing the Sven. Where did Sven go? He just mid. He TP'd mid to farm. Okay. Alone, taking a little bit of damage. Spirit Vessel, quite annoying, but I think they're going to be fine underneath their tier 2 tower. Kits really wanting to dive Excel there, but I don't think he gets out if he does.
Yeah, the rest of the team says no.
Oh.
You've got a bunch of strength heroes, but...
Mid lane? All right, DNM and friends rotate into the mid lane. They end up finding the Bane anyways. He TP'd in to defend, and you lose the mid tier 1 tower. Now Kits, Avalanche Toss finding alone. The Spirit Vessel once again being dropped. Can they actually bring down this Tiny, though? Boat still does connect. In comes Sacred. You're going to lose potentially 2 for this, and you do. Nice tip out from Alone. He says, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that.
A little bit too far, but at the very least, it makes enough space for DNM to take that mid tower. 14 minutes isn't that quick. I'm not sure if it was worth it if you lose the Tiny and the Brewmaster there, but at the very least, DNM continues to get farm, and you got to be worried about this going into late game.
Right underneath a ward, Spirit Vessel, Bloodright comes out, and that Ball of Light shatters. It's so sad watching the Companion Cube die, because it's just like, it's literally heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's the only person that'll ever love you, right?
Yeah. How did you know, Neph?
Because that's how I feel about the Companion Cube as well. Life is meaningless without.
They need to add a comforting beeps onto IO.
To let me know everything is going to be all right.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, they're forced to play a little bit slower here for a while on Infamous, but now they're working. They almost have completed some of these important items. Javelin's coming out on the Wind Ranger. She might end up getting a Blink Dagger first. I actually prefer to see that on Michael, so they have an easier time getting on top of people. Otherwise, Bane has to walk up pretty slowly to them.
Yeah.
Kunkka's almost got his BKB completed. That's going to be a major one. There's a lot of magic damage coming out in these fights, and that'll allow him to stand his ground. And Sven still doesn't have his items online that he's ready to fight. What's he working on? He's got Blink Dagger on his courier.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of times he just goes to Silver Edge Blink into like a BKB. It's basically the Magnus build, but you just get it like twice as fast.
Yeah, and you're about halfway to your. I have Scotty right now on the TB. He's got one ultimate orb done, and at that point you start to feel like you're able to fight. He's going for a BKB after that. Again, pretty important given that Sven's buying one.
Yeah, I mean, Lumiere is doing a fantastic job here on the Terrorblade. He had those 2 deaths early on. Or not necessarily early on, but getting wrapped around on by the Tiny. And he's still managing to find a lot of kills here. Hits. Oh, he's going to find alone. Avalanche toss. That is a TP cancel, and he is just waiting for the opportunity to keep him in place. Rotation in here, going to be from the Sven. He drops the boat, blink forward to dodge. There's going to be the Spirit Vessel as well. And Kunkka stuck around just a half second too long, really. Relocate was scouted, though, I believe. Was it? Do they know it's top? They did. Question is, can they actually find him? They actually go ahead and TP in the Shadow Demon as well. They do not want to risk it.
Yeah, they figured they'd run at them there. So a safe in Fiend's grip, having Giant there to hit him with the disruption, pretty important. Now, you were right about it being half a second, by the way. I was watching that one. The smoke popped about half a second earlier than it should have, and Kits noticed.
Yeah, and that's why he kept chasing the tree line.
Very close. Yeah, that's why you played along for that one. They pinged out where they thought the TB was, and they were correct, but
speaking of Kits, mid lane just getting ran out here by Michael. I love that Giant. I don't know what these black lines are. Do you see those? There were like a bunch of black lines falling from the sky onto Tiny.
Probably has something to do with the rupture.
Yeah, it is the rupture. It just like creates these like 3 geysers of I don't know what, but they're pretty neat. Michael, that blink dagger getting put to great use already. He's gonna be able to find Shadow Demon here. I don't think he has the damage alone, but trying to just keep vision on this hero as the rest of his team comes in from the backside.
Yeah.
Guess is incorrect though.
Nobody's coming to save Giant.
Whoa, Sacred is. Gets him with the blood right. Nice disruption though, and he's gonna be able to just disrupt himself and back on out. And he's gonna go farm the jungle instead.
At that point, they're like, all right, he's position 5. They're not going to rotate for him, but if we dive under the tier 2 tower, then we're essentially giving up free kills to the enemy team, and then they will show up. So they get back now. Sven, he's... God, I thought that he'd be accelerating further than this TB, but TB's keeping up for him pretty well. Lumiere is a god. Yeah,
Lumiere has been borderline unobstructed for the last, like, 5 to 6 minutes. And as we talked about, on his way to the IF Scotty, and it's a great Scotty game against the Sven. You can just kite him around through that God Strength as long as you just don't get controlled. And once he has the BKB, there's not really an answer for the TB.
Yeah, he did lose a little bit of agility in sub 0.30, but he still feels incredibly strong and has way too much armor. So I think he's able to fight into the God Strength if the IO isn't around with the Metamorphosis. As long as he's got Sunder available, and again, he's able to kind of kite around like a 1v1 scenario anyway. You just have to be worried about like the Brewmaster tossing people up in the air, then having the IO around. At that point, you don't win the 1v1 fight. That 1.9 base attack time on Sven really hurts him.
Dire's bottom tower is in danger.
Got Man Brace now on the Sven. That's a nice find this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the IS Scotty slow onto Sven, like you said, having that 1.9 base attack speed as well, I feel like is really rough. Both teams just kind of rotating to the off lane. They just want to go ahead and try and secure this tower. Kit's doing a little bit of damage bottom. Just now completing that Echo Saber. So, I mean, his farm is a little bit behind from what we normally see on these mid lane Tinies, but they're going to find themselves an Ancient stack.
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to participate in as many kills. He's got 4 deaths this game, which is a bit more than usual. So slowed down his farming progress. And I think some of it comes back to going for the phase boots first. Like, I understood why, and it did kind of save him in the mid lane when he got jumped on by 3 heroes, and they turned around and they got the kill off onto, was it the Wind Ranger at the time?
Mm-hmm.
But the Blink Dagger comes out slower, and Blink Dagger comes out slower, you don't have that same burst damage.
Yeah, they pop the DD rune after taking the top tower, and they're gonna go right into Roshan. Looks like 4 Gringos have no chance of contesting this. They are way too late to the game. They're actually gonna smoke up on 3, but
they can relocate in. If they have BKB on the Sven, they do. If they go, they need to go.
It's too late.
5 seconds ago.
Age is down. They're gonna get the Avalanche, the toss out onto Sacred, and there's gonna be the turnaround. The Rupture comes through, holding him in place. Nice disruption from Giant. Can they actually finish off the Bloodseeker though? It's gonna be the Sven on the backside as he takes down 2 right away. Kit now looking to take down alone. These are the kills that they need to find. Tornado gonna throw that Terrorblade up into the air, and Valkyrie doing so much work this fight on this Brewmaster. Pingu, though, in some trouble, tries to tether away. It's not going to happen. Lumiere just so dang scary here on the Terrorblade, but that meta has expired. They're just ignoring the Terrorblade. They're like, sorry, dude, we got bigger fish to fry. It's going to be your team. They managed to take down 4, and Lumiere has to TP home. They just ignore the Terrorblade, just running around this fight with his hands in the air like, what do I do?
I mean, he did
guys,
his best,
they won't fight me. This isn't cool.
Simply walk away. It's that easy.
He did 1,200 damage on the Terrorblade. He just couldn't get his hands on anybody.
Yeah.
They just kept blinking past him. They're like, ah, see ya.
Yeah. Outmaneuvering him in that team fight. I do like the initiation there. I thought they'd try to jump the TB at the start of that one, but they realized that if they took out Roche that fast, they would have had to commit Metamorphosis. The TB's Metamorphosis is going to run out. He's not going to be able to get his hands on anybody. And they punished the Bane as well. He was the target they relocated on, and that's the one the Sven has to look out for. I was a little bit confused with what they did at the start of that team fight, but I was like, okay, wow. This is probably the optimal play.
Yeah, Avalanche toss mid lane. They do a lot of damage on out to Saker, but a great shackle. Nice disruption trying to save Kits here, but sets up for a Torrent instead, but in comes Sven on the backside, and there it is, the Fiend's Grip right on the money as soon as that BKB comes out, and there is no way to cancel this. He's just wasted that entire BKB duration. Now, in comes the A-Toss, another Blood Right comes through, but it's just Lumiere doing so much work here on this Terrorblade. Nice blink out after the disruption goes north. DNM debating going in. Stormhammer comes out, pops the God Strike. He just chops the Bloodseeker. See you later. But he's going to catch a shackle in return. Torrent there giving him all the vision that they need.
I think he's going to try to fight this.
He has no choice. He's got to try and fight this, right? He can't get away. Disruption once again into another shackle. Torrent off the mark. And DNM, he almost gets the kill onto Michael. Lumiere now getting kited out. Trying to pop his Aegis. Not going to be enough, though, surviving with just a couple hundred HP.
Yeah. And now X'd up again on Giant. Didn't quite have enough mana for that disruption, but Kunkka's got no follow-up to that one, and people starting to TP in. So you got to be a little bit afraid of Valkyrie. Man's Beast and be on the Brewmaster. I thought Sven would stand his ground a little bit early if he was going to pop God's Strength there. I don't necessarily...
I thought he was just going to lay into Alone after he killed the Bloodseeker, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Alone doesn't have a ton of armor. The only armor he has is the phase boots. But I guess he figured, all right, Echo Saber already procced.
Lumiere's Invis is about to sunder Kits. Oh, that is a big rune.
Giant?
In some trouble, drops the disruption, or drops the Demonic Purge. Nice save there from Pingu, trying to heal him out. Give him a little bit of space, but he's going to make it up onto the high ground and find the kill at the end of the day. And now, yeah, he does have the TB illusions, but it's not going to be enough. There's no follow-up here.
Putting him down to half, but that's just going to set him up for another Sunder, right?
Exactly.
He's working on Satanic now. So he's still keeping up with him for farm, but there's a 5k net worth advantage on Infamous at the moment. They haven't had the opportunity to pop God Strength alongside BKB for the last couple of minutes. They took a great Roche fight, but after that, they've been a little bit more careful with the positioning here on Excel.
Honestly, Michael on this Wind Ranger has absolutely owned this game. And initially, you and I were both a little concerned. We're like, you know, why would you pick this Wind Ranger so early? But it's making a lot more sense when you think about it in terms of like the utility that the Bloodseeker picks brings. Yeah. He's not really a right-clicking damage hero here. He's definitely utility. He's got Spirit Vessel, A-Toss, Blood Right. Like, his goal is to just like drop spells from range in these fights. Whereas the Wind Ranger is essentially your damage source. So they kind of complement each other pretty well. It ends up working out nicely.
I do like the fact that she grabbed that Blink Dagger, though. She got the Maelstrom coming out to her now and a bunch of clarities afterwards.
They're smoked up. They're going to find Alone. He pops the BKB right away and just starts TPing home Shackle, holding Brewmaster down. They don't want to fight at all. They do not want to risk it.
Simply TP out. It's that easy.
Yeah.
And they're all going to disengage after this.
Yep, Demonic Purge down. No reason to stay any longer. I'm curious what Kits ends up building here. I mean, we've seen this Tiny do some insane damage going into the late game. We saw yesterday him just two-shot a Sven at like 50 minutes. So you know.
That's after you get the Silver Edge. He's going for the BKB first, and he does kind of need to deal with the amount of control. Like you mentioned, this Wind Rage is a problem. The amount of control the Kunkka has is a bit of a problem. After he has the BKB, he'll probably go for the Silver Edge because it guarantees that crit, especially alongside an Echo Saber. Get those 2 quick attacks off. If you double crit with a Toss Avalanche, you can kill basically anyone in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty
first
cool.
Crit is guaranteed. I don't know. Silver Edge is way too good right now. It's very annoying. I'm not sure how many Dota games you've played recently, but
dude, I've been running Safe Lane Shadow Fiend with Silver Edge like nonstop, and I basically haven't lost with it.
Have you played any support games recently?
No.
The amount of sentries you need to buy is absolutely ridiculous. Like if you're playing just in general, you drop a ton of sentries trying to scout observer wards, place them near high ground. But now everybody's buying Silver Edge as well. So it's even more important that you drop sentry wards. You're running out every single game.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm used to buying the sentries. My supports don't buy those, so I just buy them anyway. That makes sense.
Yeah, but as a support player, like the sentries, you never feel like you have enough now.
Smoke pop. Matthew, I meant Michaels. Looking for the tiny here. Nice Storm Hammer on the backside, though, from DNM. Rupture out onto him, and there's the feed script. Once again, they've got to cancel it. And they do finally. Is it too late, though, as Lumiere is showing up to the fight? There's going to be the Tornado. No Terror Blade for you and DNM. He turns around, but a beautiful shackle from Michael is going to help take him down, and buybacks are available. You've brought the IO back into this game, but you've lost too much already. 2 heroes down. Valkyrie able to blink away. Dude, this Wind Ranger is owning.
All right. I think we have to take it back. Michael, we didn't respect your Wind Ranger enough to be a first pick. We were wrong.
He has found 2 fantastic shackles in that fight, followed by the focus fire onto the Sven, and there's just nothing the Sven could do. As soon as that BKB was over, he's just getting pelted by Maelstrom procs. 1,690 damage. I mean, just from your 4 position. He was also ruptured that whole fight, which felt bad. Brewmaster found in the jungle. It's going to be another setup here. Doesn't look like he has any chance of getting out of this one.
He really needs his Aghanim Scepter completed. We're 28 minutes in. He's just got his Spirit Vessel on a Blink Dagger. I think even going for the Blink Dagger was
I'm not a huge fan of the Blink Dagger. We haven't really seen any Brewmasters lately go for the Blink Dagger, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they normally just either let somebody else initiate by dropping a Drunken Haze and then the Spirit Vessel onto them. But it's more important to get the double split off in the team fight, and it's more than half the cost of that Aghanim Scepter to go for the Blink. And like the availability of having 2 splits, having the like way more uptime is really broken, along with being able to hop back into any Brewling you want to. Make sure that you're always alive at the end of the team fight. You're always able to escape.
9k gold advantage here for Infamous. I mean, they're feeling so good about the state of the game right now. Sven actually manages to find a Titan Sliver. That is incredibly valued this game against the Bloodseeker. Needs to have that form of the status resist, reducing the duration of that rupture, but also the duration of Fiend's Grip, right? He's been Fiend's Grip for almost 2 fights now for the majority of his BKB duration.
Yeah, it's the job of the Brewmaster or the Shadow Demon in order to deal with that. They find Paladin Sword on the other side. But yeah, it's the job of the or even the IO. You relocate him like just slightly out of the fight and then relocate him back in.
Well, he'll still be Fiend's Gripped when you reload.
He'll still be Fiend's Grip, but like
he's just not going to be
disabled in the middle
of
the fight. Yeah, like we saw what Wind Ranger did to him in the last team fight, right?
Yeah. Smoked up here on the side of 4G. Mid lane, they did see the Bane with that ward, and Valkyrie would love to go in. Sacred is an even bigger kill if they can get him. No BKB on the Bloodseeker, but they get popped on Giant. They see him now. He's going to know about the high ground ward.
No, it's interesting to see. DNM doesn't really think that the Rupture or the Fiend's Grip are big enough problems for him personally. Otherwise, he would have queued up Assange and Yasha this game on this Sven. He's just gone like Daedalus, Blink Dagger, Echo Saber, and now he's got Assault Cuirass queued up. Status resistance is not on his mind. He figures it's an execution issue in these team fights and not something he can canter out with his items.
I mean, they do have we did say that they had a lot of different ways of trying to cancel the Fiend's Grip here. The thing is the Bane in the last 2 fights did a really good job of waiting for that disruption before going for the Fiend's Grip. Valkyrie gonna get found here as they smoke right in, but they're gonna find the Sven. That's the big kill. Giant rotates in, managed to get him, but the reload gets canceled as a result, and now DNM forced to BKB TP home. He's gonna make it, but his supports are not.
Yeah, Valkyrie now trying to get out as well.
And without the Ags, it's just this Earth Panda.
Yeah, he's finally got enough money for the eggs now, by the way.
And those spider legs completed on this Lumiere Terrorblade. I mean, the speed at which he just ran onto that high ground caught them off guard.
I'm not sure that you cannot fight in this Roshan with your 3 heroes. They're walking towards the pit right now. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I think they realize that they're in there.
And BKB on Tiny, but
no Bruce split in a 3v5 fight.
Yeah.
And no BKB on the Sven. Paladin Sword now found on Sven, by the way. I'm pretty sure you still hold on to Titan Sliver over that. The magic resist, status resist feels more important than 16% lifesteal.
Yeah, I agree. And they're going to actually grab the tidal wave now for Kunkka, so you now have another disarm to go on top of his already completed Heaven's Halberd. So this Sven, the answers are coming through, right? The control is there for the side of Infamous. Even more so than what we've seen already this game, so.
Yeah. You need the grenade damage, or sorry, you got a grenade. You need the these Brewlings and the Tiny to be able to pump out more damage now, because at this point, if Infamous only have to control up this Sven, it makes the fights way too easy for them.
Yeah. They
have these single target answers. They've got Shackle Shot, they've got X-Torrent, Boat, Fiend Script, they've got Rupture. Like, there's too much for DNM to deal with by himself.
Kits will just TP home. No, ooh, Power Shot. I think I ended up seeing him, but he's already out. DD Rune scouted bottom by the Terrorblade. He's just going to wait for a real handy-dandy bottle. And that is your ticket to high ground, I think, right? This next meta with the DD Rune Aegis, I don't think you have any chance at stopping this Terrorblade from taking your buildings.
Stormhammer Dispel?
That sounds like a real waste of 1,400 gold right now.
It does. When he desperately needs money for a Satanic. I'm not sure Satanic is the game-saving item here either. He seems to be jumping around from what he wants. Sanjay Yasha isn't a bad idea, but I feel like, I don't know, you grab that to replace your Mask of Madness in the late game, or you get a Butterfly or something like that to fight the TB. TB is just, he's working on Daedalus instead of a Silver Edge himself, which is interesting. I see a lot of people just get the Silver Edge instead now because of the extra attack speed and, you know, invis factor, the bonus damage, but I guess with the hero...
You could Cyclone him potentially, but my goodness, that is a lot of damage. Valkyrie comes in. He's going to get the Dispel, and there's the Disruption as well. They've got him. The first life of the Terrorblade. Can the Expert just pops the BKB, says, forget it. I'm not going down. Pops that Satanic back up to full HP. Valkyrie, first Bruise Split is down, but he's got a second. Nice Shackle onto the Shadow Demon. The Focus Fire, it just solos him. What a play by Michael. The illusions from the Shadow Demon and the grenade from downtown is going to be able to find the kill there as a return. And now Alone has to back out. These Terrorblade illusions doing some work. But again, this is your second split. They've got to be able to pull him out of position. A toss back from the Tiny is really the only option, but they're just X-marking him just to be able to prevent that from happening. Pops Satanic once again. Grenade from downtown, gonna reflect it.
Yeah, that's gonna disable Tiny's Blink Dagger for the next couple of seconds, so they're not gonna be able to initiate. They take the opportunity to back out on everybody. Mirror only sitting in half HP. DNM just never found the opportunity to initiate in that team fight. Some of the disruptions and whatnot were a little bit awkward there. They came out when Brewmaster was throwing out the Cinder Brew, and the Terrorblade was taking a lot of boat debuff damage after it had expired.
Daedalus completed on Lumiere, and now there's gonna be the Fiend's Grip in the mid lane, but canceled by Kits. You don't have the split. Yeah, he does actually. Can he actually get it off in time? No, he's just damage silenced up. DNM trying to beat them down, but he's just getting tunneled by Lumiere. Pigu, triple kill for Alone. Oh, what a disaster in the mid lane.
2 Tidebringer hits and a couple attacks from TB, and the fact that you can't move anywhere, ruptured up on the Sven. I think this is going to be over.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy back, but you don't have God Strength. This Blood Rage onto this Terrorblade in this fight is just ridiculous, and we've seen this Kunkka. I mean, He doesn't even seem like he has that many damage items, but you're right. The Tidebringer Cleave combined with a boat and Torrent and all this, it is so much damage.
Yeah. The other heroes on the Sven's team aren't pumping out enough damage at this point. They have so much single target control.
Trying to do what they can here, but these illusions just zoning the Tiny out, making so he can't get these blinks, and they get the mid lane of Barracks. They did buy back on the Shadow Demon and the Sven for this, and they're just gonna go bottom. They're not afraid at all. Lumir right back onto the high ground, meta up in 2 seconds, plus, okay, well, accidentally pops a Satanic. That is not ideal. He's still baiting. Aegis expiring in 3. They have to leave. He doesn't have enough health.
I think they'll go back in after the Aegis expires.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason to leave. I'm gonna
no,
be
yeah,
honest.
it was more of like he just can't get caught with the Aegis expiring.
Yeah.
All right, meta comes down. And that tower absolutely melted. It's just Lumir on the front line. In comes a Shackle. Ends up finding the Sven. That's a great target. The first Bruce Blade comes through. Michael falling incredibly low. Can actually bring him down. Kits is just getting crushed by Lumir. Michael surviving with the BKB. In comes Giant. Another disruption alone. Pulling him back. The Godstrike does come out the BKB. But he's not doing damage at all. The Kunkka just doesn't care. Kits, the toss back. Can they find the kill finally? But another disarm. Valkyrie doing what he can, but he gets the Sven. Alone is the real carry here. Lumir with the Sunder into the Satanic. The saves doing work. Kits, another toss out, but double kill for this Kunkka.
And I'd be surprised if they didn't just call it here. Sven did for 93 seconds, and there it is. The GG is called. The Kunkka way too tanky. The Assault Cross is finished under that boat buff. If Sven tries to stand his ground and fight the Kunkka, but he's just not doing damage to him, especially with that resistance applied by the boat. It was just way too much from Infamous here. Sven couldn't do it all by himself, and I feel like a lot of the... Dina had a decent game, but they countered it out amazing on Infamous. I mean, every time a Stormhammer came out, they instantly threw a Lotus Orb up onto a hero. Every time a Sven tried to get into a team fight, they just saved their disables for him. Tiny and Brewmaster didn't have enough farm to be able to do damage in these fights either when they just controlled up the Sven. So the solutions to this IO Sven, as strong as it was in other matches in this tournament, ended up being pretty outstanding here. Yeah. And a good way to start out the day here for Infamous. Not so great before Gringos. I have to jump over to look at the standings real quick here in our trusty document provided by admins Badger and Nina. Shout out to our new admin Badger, by the way. Man is doing an excellent job. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was muted. Seems good.
You were muted again. Mm-hmm. All right. At the very least, they could look at the brackets and they could imagine what you said. You guys are gonna have to play make believe with Ricky's words there.
Yeah. Well,
it was all really smart stuff.
It was all really smart stuff. Yeah. Only the smartest. Mm-hmm. Seems good.
We're gonna have to switch over to a quick break. I need to take a phone call to plan my flights over to TI now that ticket sales have been announced. So I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah, I guess we that would be an important thing to try and sort out, Neff.
Yeah, I got a call from them at 10 minutes into that game. I'm like, oh, I'll get back to you in about 50 minutes or something like that, which is just about now.
All right, very cool. Well, we'll be back in just a moment, everyone. We got to go to a quick break with game number 2 of For Gringos and Infamous, and we'll see you after the break.